zunehmende Nutzung des Internets führt dazu, dass man jederzeit Kinderpornografie sich ansehen und auch verbreiten kann.
The children depicted in those images and videos, they are being re-victimized every time that content is being reshared. It's horrific.
The numbers too are shocking. This graph shows the reports of child sexual abuse materials sent from around the world to one central NGO over the past decade. The spread of child sexual abuse images is a real problem in Germany too. And there are factors making it particularly difficult for German authorities to tackle the problem. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the reasons why Germany is losing the fight against pedophiles on the internet and what the country could do to catch up. Technology is changing fast. It's never been easier to share, store and hide massive amounts of data. Millions of images, hours and hours of video, child sexual abuse material.
Every time there's a new piece of technology or tool that's out there, it's going to be exploited for nefarious purposes.
John Sheehan works at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The US-based NGO takes reports of child sexual abuse material from the intangible world of the internet and tracks it to a physical location so that real-world authorities can step in. Here's how it works. Every device connected to the internet has an IP address, a unique number that can be used to follow and track a user's journey online. When an internet provider suspects someone is using or spreading child sexual abuse material, they can forward the IP address to Sheehan's organization. He and his team can track the IP address to a physical location and report it to local authorities. In 2019 alone, the NGO received more than 21,000 reports of suspected child sexual abuse material linked to German IP addresses deemed worthy of investigation by German law enforcement. But 1 in 10 of these investigations die before they ever really start. German laws don't allow providers to keep IP addresses long enough. They're deleted, gone, before anything can be done.
Nun ist es leider so, dass in Deutschland maximal 7 Tage diese Daten gespeichert werden, sodass wir dadurch mehrere tausend Hinweise pro Jahr einfach de facto nicht auflösen können. Das ist natürlich für uns auch nicht ganz einfach, auch eine psychologische Belastung, weil man insbesondere natürlich auch immer im Hintergrund hat, dass hier möglicherweise das Opfer weiterhin missbraucht wird.
Changing practices like these is hard in Germany. The country has been through 2 dictatorships that abused mass surveillance. People now guard their privacy fiercely. Some fear laws that would allow data to be stored could be abused. But others say such concerns are outdated and obstruct necessary investigation.
Es geht nicht darum, einen gläsernen Menschen zu schaffen und alle Geheimnisse da zu offenbaren. Das ist es gar nicht, sondern es geht wirklich nur letztendlich um eine Art Einzelverbindungsnachweis, den man braucht. Wann hat wer mit welcher IP-Adresse das Internet benutzt, um das eben retrograd zuordnen zu können. Und der Vorteil, den man daraus ziehen kann, der überwiegt meines Erachtens die Nachteile und die Bedenken bei weitem.
But those concerns remain strong. Parliamentarians introduced a new data retention law in 2015 that would mean providers could store IP addresses for up to 10 weeks. Constitutional complaints have blocked it from being enacted. In comparison, most other EU countries allow data retention for up to 6 months. These strict limits on keeping data are not all that makes life difficult for German investigators trying to track pedophiles. Decoding digital footsteps and unlocking data isn't as easy as TV series and movies might suggest.
There are some highly sophisticated consumers of child sexual abuse material, educating one another how to hide their footprints online so they can't be identified by law enforcement.
A recent case in the German city of Münster is a good example. There, a man suspected of having child sexual abuse material had such an advanced setup, investigators took more than a year to get into his computer. Police are still working to crack more than 500 terabyte of data, which the man held in a server room with professional level encryption.
Wenn es dann darum geht, dass man Datenträger sicherstellt, die eben auch eine solche Verschlüsselung aufweisen, dann wird immer erwartet, dass den Strafverfolgungsbehörden ohne weiteres möglich ist, die zu entschlüsseln. Und das ist eben nicht der Fall. Und vor diesem Problem stehen aber nicht nur wir, vor diesem Problem stehen Strafverfolgungsbehörden weltweit. Und eigentlich ist es eher mal die Ausnahme, dass es gelingt, tatsächlich eine solche Verschlüsselung zu knacken.
German authorities would stand a better chance if they had enough staff, but they simply don't have the people they need. And while funding the police force has increased over the past couple of years, Germany invests less of its GDP than the EU average.
Wenn die Fälle der angezeigten Kinderpornografie-Taten steigen, dann ist es zwingend notwendig, dass man auch die personelle Ausstattung entsprechend anpasst. Je mehr Personal man hat, um in diesem Bereich zu ermitteln, desto mehr Straftaten wird man auch ermitteln können. Denn ansonsten wird man der Sache nicht mehr Herr werden.
Data laws that simply kill off investigations after a few days, criminals who are streets ahead in technology, and staff shortages in those bodies trying to catch them. Little wonder German police are losing in the fight against people spreading child sexual abuse images on the internet. It can seem hopeless, but some changes are on the way which might help. One proposed new law would force platforms like Facebook and Twitter to report illegal posts to authorities, and they would have to store them, giving police a fighting chance of tracing those who made the posts. The global nature of the crimes is also being matched by the authorities, sharing their knowledge and tactics around the world. Even if they're outnumbered and outgunned, all those taking to the digital battleground know why they're doing it.